This lesson is talking about times 5. You have been counting by 5s since kindergarten, so you've been practicing for this. So we're going to go up to 60 with doing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. When you're doing the lesson where it has you look at a multiplication chart, it will ask you to look and see what pattern you notice when you're multiplying by 5s. And you will notice it either has a 5 in the ones place or a 0. So 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0, 5, 0. That is the pattern. If you are multiplying by a 5, it either has to end in a 5 or a 0. Okay, so here, this would be my times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6. So this is 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. 5 times 3 equals 15. 5 times 4 equals 20. 5 times 5 equals 25. 5 times 6 equals 30. 5 times 7 equals 35. Times 8 gives me 40. 5 times 9 gives me 45. 5 times 10 gives me 50. 5 times 11 gives me 55. And 5 times 12 gives me 60. Now, the 5 doesn't always have to be in the beginning. Remember, commutative property. If it was 3 times 5, it would still equal 15. If it is 6 times 5, it will still equal 30. But there's one other thing I want you to notice. And this is something that you're going to notice as you're looking at multiplication facts as a whole. Anything times an even number, your product will always be even. Well, in this case, with multiplying by 5s, your product, when multiplying by an even number, will end in 0. Anything that you're multiplying by an odd number is going to end in 5. Okay? So your 5s are going to be something you're going to start to memorize pretty easily. If you are not sure and you need to figure that out, use your fingers. Count by 5s to figure out your answer. So if you're stuck on 8 times 5 or 5 times 8, and you're like, I just can't think of it, use your fingers. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Then you can get to your answer. Yes, we want you to memorize it as soon as you can, but until then, don't just sit there and try and think and think. Do something to try and figure that out by using your fingers. Also in this lesson, we're going to talk about times 10. Okay, so this is something that we have been talking about for a long time without you even realizing. So when we are using those base 10 blocks where it's just a 10, you know, those sticks where it looks like a 10, and we say, oh, I gave you 5 10s. What does that equal? 50. Guess what? You were multiplying without even knowing it. So 1 times 10 or 1 10 gives you 10. 2 times 10 gives you 20 or 2 10s, right? 3 times 10 gives you 30. 4 times 10 gives you 40. 5 times 10 gives you 50. 6 times 10 gives you 60. 7 times 10 gives you 70. 8 times 10 gives you 80. 9 times 10 gives you 90. Now, something I noticed that people start to confuse is when we get into the hundreds. So 10 times 10 gives me 100, because we know if I give you 10 sticks and I ask you, what does that make? You're going to say, I need 100, Mrs. Gibb. Okay? So far, if I'm giving you these 10s, you're telling me, okay, 4 tens, that gives me 40. If you're not sure, you can go 10, 20, 30, 40, okay? And again, because of commutative property, this can flip the order. It can be 10 times 1 instead of 1 times 10. Now, 11 times 10, what do you notice happening every time when we're multiplying? And this is a little shortcut. What do you notice? We're getting, oh, here we had 2 zeros though, so 0, 0, 0, 0. But here I have 11 and I have 10 11s. Well, let's see. If I have 10 11s, let me draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I need to make that 100. I need 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need my 10 tens to make 100. So I have 100 with one more left over. What number did I just make? I made 110. 110. Oh, wait a minute. I have my 11 and I added a 0. Okay. Well, let's see how that works out with 12 times 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 tens. I am going to circle to make that 100. Let me make sure, yep. And this circle makes 100. How many tens did I have left over? I had 2 tens left over. Okay, so if I'm writing my place value from this, I have 100. And what does that make? 10, 20. 120. Okay, again, but look. I have my 12 tens, and then I have that 0. Okay? So this is times 5 and times 10.